VEVE announced the first Jim Henson NFTs will be Labyrinth and be with us sometime early next year. I'll be covering this video, the plot, the characters, and some upcoming news, so please do stay to the end. It might affect your decision when it comes to buying these NFTs in the future. So for those who don't know, VEVE have announced today the first NFTs from Jim Henson's company will be coming to VEVE app sometime early next year, and they've based it on the movie Labyrinth, which is celebrating its 35th anniversary this year. I won't go into all the details, but suffice to say both VEVE company and Jim Henson company very excited to be having the first NFTs coming to VEVE sometime early next year. It's interesting we have picked Labyrinth for this rather than picking something like the Muppets. At the moment, I believe the Muppets are technically owned by Disney, not Jim Henson, or it might be some weird partnership going on. Suffice to say though, the Labyrinth is probably the most iconic of Jim Henson's work, excluding the Muppets. So very excited from a personal to see Labyrinth come to VEVE. Give you a quick rundown of the cast. There is the King of the Goblins, Jarve, played by none other than David Bowie. For those who don't know, he's a very famous British pop rock musician who sadly passed away a number of years ago. He's very iconic for his different styles and look throughout the years, from the 70s onwards really. Jennifer Connelly, probably one of our first roles as 16-year-old Sarah, and we've got our stepbrother as a little baby, and the rest of the cast being made up of goblins and monsters and typical Jim Henson animatronics and puppets, etc. And the plot of the movie really is centred around this idea of Sarah coming home to babysit her stepbrother, getting really frustrated and annoyed at him, and basically making a wish that he wouldn't be there. At that point he disappears. David Bowie's Jarve, the King of the Goblins, shows up and offers Sarah a deal to say basically, you let me take the baby and he will make all her dreams come true. She of course doesn't want this to happen, goes on an adventure, goes into the labyrinth and encounters all these weird fantastical creatures and monsters, and encounters a lot of friends along the way who help her to kind of overcome and get her brother back and come back to the real world. So I won't spoil the ending for you, but that's the general story and outline. And why I think that's important is there's probably 3 to 4 main characters within this story that could potentially be collectibles going forward. So there's obviously Jarve, the King of the Goblins, there's Sarah herself, her stepbrother, and then there's the various goblins and creatures that she encounters along the way. Like, it could be part of this set of collectibles. I don't think there'll be anything to do with the actual story itself. I don't think the Labyrinth as it's known will actually be a collectible, but it might be a poster, for example. It could be a very interesting poster set with David Bowie and the rest of the cast, or it could be actually 3D models of those characters. We don't yet know what it will be, but as a personal, I'm very excited for it to come. I'm quite a big fan of David Bowie. We enjoyed this film as a kid and I've watched it recently as an adult, so looking forward to this as being a first collectible of Labyrinth and from Jim Henson on VEVE and in the world. So I'm definitely picking up just from a personal note. What I'd love to know from yourselves is, are you hyped, are you excited for this to be coming to VEVE? If you've never heard of David Bowie or Labyrinth, or you think actually this will be quite a popular one of the apps, please let me know in the comments down below what you think about this news from VEVE. Also, I've been doing a bit of digging around the internet and recent interviews from Jennifer Connelly. So obviously she was very young when this movie was made over 35 years ago, but she has been approached to star in a sequel to this, or a potential remake, with the director from the first Doctor Strange movie. She hasn't said much more other than she's been approached to have a conversation. So potentially one of the reasons why Labyrinth has been chosen as one of the first projects to come to NFT to VEVE is because they're wanting to kind of maybe do a sequel and kind of build the hype up for that by getting people reinvested in that world. It's the 35th anniversary this year, so there's all possibility that we could be doing that. That has been things that have been floated about for a few years, but we do seem to be in talks with Jennifer Connelly, the star of the original. Obviously David Bowie's unfortunately passed away, so he won't be involved in it. And they have got a director being approached to kind of direct and helm the work. So potentially, if a sequel does get made, these first Labyrinth NFTs would be even more exclusive, more even desirable than they could potentially be without that. My final thoughts would be, from a personal point of view, I am definitely going to pick these up depending on the price points and what's available. From a collecting and investment standpoint, the good thing is they've given us this kind of advance notice and warning that this will be coming out sometime next year, so we can do a bit of further research, do a bit of investigating, and see how popular that still is just now, see what kind of traction this announcement gets from people. It's hard to say at this point whether or not it will be popular. It is the first, as I say, Jim Henson and Labyrinth NFTs, potential for a sequel, so definitely one to keep an eye on. We have got the time to do the research, so I do recommend keeping an eye on the content I'll produce. I'll provide further updates in the future, as well as checking out other VV YouTubers out there as well. If you enjoyed this video, please do consider subscribing to the channel. It really does help others find this content, and please do drop a like on the video as well. It lets me know that you respond to this kind of content I'm covering. Feel free to check this video out just now. It's been very popular on the channel, or you can check this one out. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.